Let's solve some problems on indices. So number one problem, we have 64 raised to the power of 2 over 3. So how do we solve this solution? If we apply the laws of indices here, this will give us, as I said, when you have a fraction, you take note of the root and the power. So here we have the cube root of the number 64 raised to the power of 2. So cube root of 64, what's the cube root? The cube root of 64 is 4. Cube root of 64, 4 raised to the power of 2. This is equals to 16, not it is 16. 4 raised to the power of 2 is 16, 4 times 4. So our second problem, number 2, we have 16 raised to the power of 0. So if we apply the 0 index law here, a number raised to the power of 0 will give us 1. So we have 1. Then number 3, we have a number 4 raised to the power of negative 3 over 2. So this is a fraction and this is a negative index. So first we express it as a fraction. This will give us 1 divided by 4 raised to the power of 3 over 2. So if we apply the law of negative index, this is what we'll get. Then if we simplify further, we have 1 divided by, we take note of the root. This is 2. That's the square root of the number 4 raised to the power of 3. So this is the power. So that's equals to 1 divided by square root of 4 here is 2. The square root of 4 is 2 raised to the power of 3. So that will be equals to 1 divided by 2 raised to the power of 3 is 8. This is our answer. So when you have a question like this, you take note of the power and the sign. So this is a negative index. We express it as a fraction. Then the power, we take the root and the power of the number. So the root, the square root of 4, and the power raised to the power of 3. Then here we have 1 divided by square root of 4, 2 raised to the power of 3. 1 divided by 2 raised to the power of 3 will give us 8. So that's our question number 3. Then our question number 4. And we have a number, okay, this is a decimal, number 0.25 raised to the power of minus 1 over 2. So if we solve this, this is equals to, if we express this as a fraction, 0.25, express this as a fraction. When you have a decimal, you make sure you express it as a fraction before applying the law of indices. So this, when we express as a fraction, will give us 1 over 4. So 1 over 4 is same thing as this. When you express this as a fraction, it will give 1 over 4. 1 over 4 raised to the power of minus 1 over 2. So we apply the law of negative index here, as we did in the previous question. When we apply the law of negative index, this is equals to 1 divided by 1 over 4 raised to the power of 1 over 2, which is equals to 1 divided by, we take note of the root and the power. The root here is 2, so that's the square root of the fraction 1 divided by 2 raised to its power 1. So there's no need to add it because the fraction raised to the power will still give you the same thing. Now what's the next thing to do here? To simplify further, we have 1 divided by 2, right? Okay, there's no need to add this. This is the square root of of 4. We don't need to add the 2 there. So that's the square root of 1 over 4 raised to the power of what? 1. So no need. This is 1 divided by square root of 1. Square root of 1 is 1 divided by square root of 4 is 2. So when we express this as 1 divided by 1 over 2, then this is written as 1 multiplied by the denominator. We move to the numerator. Numerator will become the denominator. So here we have 2 divided by 1. 1 multiplied by 2 is 2 divided by 1. 2 divided by 1 is equals to 2. This is our answer. So the law of negative index, we apply it first. This is what we get. Then when we get to take note of the sign here, take note of the root. So the root here is 2. So which is the square root of the fraction 1 over 4. So 1 divided by the square root of the fraction 1 over 4, you get the square root of 1, square root of 4, 2. Then we express it like this. And then we apply the multiplication sign. When we apply multiplication sign, when we multiply, the fraction will change. And this is what we get. Then 2 divided by 1 will give us 2. So this is question number 4. Then question number 5. Question number 5. And we have 2y raised to the power of 0 multiplied by 3y raised to the power of 2 raised to the power of negative 3 multiplied by 7 raised to the power of 0. So this question, how do we solve this question? So for us to solve this question, we separate these two. This is a value and this is a variable. So when we multiply the both of them, we get this. So we can express this. We can also express this as this. Multiply by, we apply the law of negative index here. We have 1 divided by 3y raised to the power of 2 raised to the power of raised to the power of 3. The negative sign will change. So this is multiplied by 7 raised to the power of 0. Apply the law of 0 index will give us 1. Now 2 multiplied by y raised to the power of 0. 2 raised to the power, this having an invisible 1 will give us 2. Y raised to the power of 0 is 1. 1 multiplied by 2 will give us 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1. So this will give us 2 divided by, so this will give us 2. So 2 divided by what? 3y square raised to the power of 3. So we multiply everything here. This will give us 1. 1 multiplied by 2, 2 multiplied by 1, 1, and 2. 2 multiplied by 1, 2. So that's how we got this 2. Divided by this 3y square raised to the power of 3. And when we apply the power law, when you have a number, when a number is raised to a power and both of them is raised to another power, the powers are multiplied. So we multiply the powers. So 3 here is a value, y is a variable. The both of them are not the same. So 3 is raised to this power of 3. Y square is raised to this power of 3. So 3 raised to the power of 3 here will give us 27. Y square raised to the power of 3 will give us y square times 3. So this square 2 will multiply 3 to give us 6. Y raised to the power of 6. So this is 27y raised to the power of 6. So here we have 2 divided by 27y raised to the power of 6. This is our final answer. So the question, let's do a recap. The question, 2y raised to the power of 0 multiplied by 3y raised to the power of 2, or raised to the power of negative 3 multiplied by 7 raised to the power of 0. So 2 times y, do you understand? 2 times y, we can express it in this format. So when we express in this format, 2 raised to the power of 1 is 2, y raised to the power of 0 is 1. 1 multiplied by 2 give us 2. Multiply by 1, multiply by 1 will give us 2. So we've gotten this part. So all divided by 3y squared raised to the power of 3. So 3y squared raised to the power of 3 is just like, if we express it, we'll have something like this: 3 multiplied by y squared raised to the power of 3. So this value is raised to the power of 3. The variable and the square is raised to the power of 3. So this raised to the power of 3 will give us 27. Y squared raised to the power of 3 will give us y raised to the power of 6. So the powers will multiply to give us 6. And this is our final answer: 2 divided by 27 y raised to the power of 6. This is our final answer.